Ladies and gentlemen, life is not about what happens to us, it is about what we become in response to it. Every wound we survive, every fall we rise from, and every battle we endure is not meant to break us, but to build us. And at the heart of that transformation lies one silent yet powerful revolution, the rewiring of the mind. The way we think is the way we live. If our thoughts are chains, our life becomes a prison. But if our thoughts are wings, even pain becomes a path to flight. You do not need a new life, you need a new lens. And the most beautiful part, that lens is not gifted by the world, it is crafted by habits. So today, I invite you not just to listen, but to feel. To feel the power of 5 simple habits that don't demand perfection, but offer transformation. 5 choices, repeated daily, that can rewire your inner world and rebuild the way you show up in the outer one. Let us begin this journey one habit at a time. Start every morning with stillness, not screens. The first light of morning is not just light, it is healing. It is the one moment in your day that is untouched, unspoiled, and unclaimed by the world. It is yours. Yet too often, we give it away to pixels before we give it to peace. We wake up not to ourselves, but to someone else's life, someone else's drama, someone else's noise. A screen becomes the first voice we hear, and in that moment, we forget the sound of our own soul. Stillness is not the absence of activity, it is the presence of awareness. It is that sacred space where the mind can meet the heart, where silence speaks louder than words. A few quiet moments, alone, before the world awakens, that is not a ritual, that is a rescue. A rescue from rushing, reacting, and losing ourselves before the day has even begun. When you start your day in stillness, you teach your mind to listen before it speaks, to breathe before it battles, to ground itself before it gets pulled in 100 directions. Stillness teaches you that you are not just the to-do list or the tasks waiting in line. You are more than a schedule. You are a soul with purpose, a heartbeat with direction. A few deep breaths with your hand on your heart can realign everything. You don't need incense or music or perfection. You need presence. Even if the world outside is chaotic, you can choose peace inside, and that peace will become your power. The truth is, we were not made to live in noise. We were made to bloom in silence, to grow from within, to rise not by volume, but by value. So instead of reaching for the screen, reach for the sky, stretch, pray, sit, or simply feel your own existence. That is a gift. Screens will always be there. Notifications will never stop. But your soul waits only once every morning for you to say, I'm here. What you choose in those first 5 minutes will shape what chooses you for the rest of the day. A screen will show you the world's story. But stillness will remind you of your own. The world is loud, but your inner world is waiting in whispers. Honor it. Hear it. Hold it close. And in that quiet space, even before coffee or chaos, you will meet yourself again, not as someone chasing life, but someone consciously creating it. Speak to yourself like someone you love deeply. If words can break hearts, then surely they can also heal minds. And the words we say to ourselves are the ones we hear the most. Yet we offer ourselves the harshest tone. How many times have you looked in the mirror and spoken with disappointment, with disgust, with defeat? And how many times have you extended grace to others, but forgot to offer the same to your reflection? You would never call your best friend a failure. You would never say they're not enough. Then why is it okay to say those things to yourself? Loving yourself doesn't begin with spa days or selfies. It begins with the language of kindness. It begins with the courage to speak to yourself like you matter. You are not your worst day. You are not your biggest mistake. You are a story in progress, and every chapter deserves respect. The way you speak to yourself sets the standard for how the world treats you. If you declare yourself unworthy, don't be surprised when others echo that same lie. But if you begin to speak gently, with patience and compassion, your mind starts to believe it. Your body softens. Your soul begins to smile. It's okay to say, I didn't get it right today, and still believe in your worth. It's okay to say, I'm struggling, and still know that you are strong. We wait for someone to love us, right? But maybe that someone is you. Maybe the love you've been craving has been trapped in your throat, waiting to be spoken inward. You are the voice you live with. You cannot mute it, but you can mend it. You cannot escape it, but you can evolve it. Start with one sentence: I am learning. I am growing. I am enough even now. These are not just words, they are lifelines. Speak life into your wounds. Speak hope into your scars. Speak light into your darkness. You owe it to yourself to be your own comfort. And one day when someone speaks harshly to you, you will no longer believe them. Because your inner voice has become your shelter. Replace complaining with curiosity. Complaining is seductive. It makes us feel momentarily powerful in a powerless situation. But it never leads to growth, only to grief. When we complain, we stay stuck. We keep rehearsing the problem until it becomes our identity. We tell the same story so many times that we forget we can rewrite it. But what if, instead of complaining, we became curious? What if we looked at life and asked, what is this trying to teach me? Curiosity is a softer path to strength. It says, I may not like this, but I'm open to understanding it. I'm open to transforming through it. When something doesn't go your way, ask, is this redirecting me? When someone hurts you, ask, what boundary do I need to build or rebuild? Curiosity doesn't deny pain. It just refuses to drown in it. It finds a question where others find complaints, and that question becomes the bridge to wisdom. A curious mind is a healing mind. It stays flexible. It doesn't crumble at every inconvenience. It learns. It adapts. It grows. Instead of saying, this isn't fair, ask, how can I use this to rise? Instead of saying, why me? Ask, what now? The world is full of things we cannot control. But curiosity reminds us we can always control the story we attach to them. A complaining mind waits for the world to change. A curious mind changes the way it sees the world, and that changes everything. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are a student of life. And every challenge carries a lesson wrapped in disguise. So don't curse the discomfort, question it. Don't run from the storm. Learn to navigate it. Because the moment you replace complaint with curiosity is the moment you reclaim your power. Choose growth. Over comfort daily, comfort feels safe, but it is a quiet trap. It whispers sweet nothings to your fears and keeps you exactly where you are, unchallenged, unchanged, unfulfilled. Growth, on the other hand, is uncomfortable. It demands more from you than you thought you had. It stretches you. It shakes you. But in that tension, something beautiful happens. Transformation. Every day, life offers you two doors. One says comfort, and the other says growth. One leads to the familiar, the other leads to your future. Comfort will always tempt you to stay the same. It tells you to play small, to avoid failure, to choose the easy way. But what it doesn't tell you is that ease is expensive. It costs your evolution. When you choose growth, you choose to show up differently. You choose the workout instead of the excuse. You choose the truth instead of the mask. You choose the risk instead of the routine. Growth doesn't always come with applause. Sometimes it comes with silence. Sometimes it comes with sweat and solitude. But that is when the soul grows strong roots. You don't have to leap every day. Sometimes choosing growth is simply saying yes when fear says no. It is speaking up when silence feels safer. Each time you do something uncomfortable for the sake of your evolution, you send a message to your mind. I am no longer afraid of becoming more. Growth is not linear. Some days you'll climb. Some days you'll crawl. But every step, no matter how small, rewires your belief in what's possible. Your comfort zone is not your home. It is just your starting line. And the real journey, the one that leads to purpose, begins where comfort ends. Say yes to things that scare you. Start that project. Have that conversation. Take that class. What you fear the most might just be the place where your power lives. The more you choose growth, the less seductive comfort becomes. You begin to crave challenge. You begin to love the person you are becoming more than the safety of staying the same. Life does not reward those who stay hidden. It opens doors for those who are willing to walk through fear. And in choosing growth, day after day, you are not just building a better life, you are becoming the kind of person who can handle it. And each day with gratitude, not guilt. The sun sets not just on the world, but on our thoughts. And how we end our day writes a silent script for tomorrow. Yet so often we end with guilt for what we didn't do, for what we said wrong, for not being enough. But guilt is not a good bedfellow. It keeps the mind awake and the heart heavy. It turns every night into a courtroom where you are both the judge and the accused. Gratitude, however, is grace. It doesn't demand perfection. It celebrates presence. It doesn't ask, what did you miss? It asks, what did you manage to carry today, even with trembling hands? You are not meant to go to bed feeling like a failure. You are meant to rest as someone who tried, someone who cared, someone who made it through one more day. Gratitude shifts the focus. It moves your eyes from what's broken to what's still beautiful, from what's missing to what's meaningful. It doesn't mean pretending everything is okay. It means noticing what is okay even when not everything is. A warm meal, a smile from a stranger, a moment of laughter, a text from a friend, a deep breath after a long day. These are not small things. They are reminders that life is still holding you. When you end your day with gratitude, you give your nervous system a message. It's safe to rest now. You did enough. Guilt whispers, you're behind. Gratitude whispers, you're growing. And the truth is, you are growing. Maybe not loudly, maybe not perfectly, but you're still moving forward even if some days feel like crawling. Instead of keeping score, keep softness. Instead of measuring productivity, measure presence. Ask yourself, what made me feel alive today? Write down 3 things you're thankful for before sleeping. Not as a task, but as a ritual. Let it be the gentle closing of the day's chapter. Let go of the things you couldn't control. Release the words you wish you hadn't said. Forgive yourself, you are human, and you are healing. Tomorrow is a new canvas. And tonight, you are the artist resting before the next creation. Don't carry today's brushstrokes into tomorrow's masterpiece. End your day with a heart that knows even in imperfection, you are worthy of peace. In the end, we often search for miracles outside ourselves, waiting for the right time, the right person, the right opportunity to change our lives. But the truth is, transformation is not found in grand gestures. It is born quietly, in the choices we repeat, in the thoughts we reshape, in the habits we nurture when no one is watching. Rewiring your mindset is not about becoming someone else. It is about finally becoming who you were meant to be, free from the noise, free from the fear, and free from the false stories you once believed about yourself. It is about peeling back the layers of survival and letting the soul breathe again. Every habit we spoke of today is simple, but never small. Stillness in the morning teaches your mind to listen before the world begins to speak. Kind self-talk rewrites the inner narrative that has long kept you in chains. Curiosity turns every obstacle into a doorway. Choosing growth over comfort teaches your spirit how to fly through fire. And gratitude, the most silent revolution of them all, turns your scars into symbols of grace. Your mindset is not your destiny, it is your design. You can change it, you can rebuild it, you can rise from it. Even if the world gave you every reason to break, you can still choose to bend toward light. You are not late, you are not behind, you are exactly where your healing begins. And if you change the way you think, you will change the way you live. Completely, authentically, powerfully. The world may try to convince you that your power lies in being perfect, in being loud, in being everything to everyone, but your true power lies in your consistency, your clarity, your quiet decision to choose yourself every single day. So don't wait for a new year or a new season. Let today be the beginning of your becoming. Let these 5 habits be your foundation. Not just for success, but for peace, for purpose, for the kind of joy that no circumstance can take away. Your mind is your garden. These habits are the seeds. Water them with belief, protect them with discipline, and soon you will see not just change, but a rebirth. And in that rebirth, you will not just rewire your mindset, you will reclaim your life.